Yo, 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 Raider Nation. It is Wash Gamer one more time coming at you with my third and final, thank goodness for final, mock draft for the 2025 NFL Draft. Last couple of ones, I was able to acquire a couple of guys that I actually hope that we take for real when it really matters. Let me just say from the jump, there are a few players that, since I have the preference for them and not just a matter of where they land, that I'm going to actually be seeking out to try to acquire for this draft. It's a little unconventional. I'm sure some folks will have something to say, but we're all under the same umbrella. We rep the Raider Nation. So let's not even mess around. Let's get into it. Let's get this started. And, well, we already got a couple of interesting things here. Before I do anything with the trade offers, wow. Jalen Walker going to the Giants at 3, that is interesting. Kelvin Banks going to the Patriots, even more interesting. This would be a pretty wild place to be at this place with Abdul Carter somehow being available at 6. Now let me take a look and see, in terms of the trade offers, what is available. So let me see if I can actually get back and check it out to see what the offers are. Okay, that's absurd. That's even about as absurd. So none of these seem to be in anywhere in the realm of reality. Um, so I'm just going to blow that off, and I would have loved to have been able to move back a couple of spots because I know someone is going to want to go and get Abdul Carter. There's probably no chance that he actually ends up being at 6. Stranger things have happened. But in the event that that did, I would think for a second. But at the end of the day, with this scenario right here, with Mason Graham gone, let's just take the guy that I know a lot of people in Raider Nation want. And that's the stud from Boise, Ashton Jeanty. And day one, he's going to be a knockout like Brock Bowers. So suddenly you have two blue chippers now on offense that you've got to build around in terms of an offense. And now suddenly we cook them with some grease on offense. Geno Smith's got something. And now let's see what we can do as far as a little help here. Um, what is interesting to me is, again, this is similar to the first one I did. Derek Harmon somehow being available at 27. Actually, I believe I traded back and he was even a little further than that. But we have some very interesting, uh, it's like a choice to make here because Josh Simmons, I mean, the truth of the matter is, as much as everybody likes DJ Glaze, I do believe that that is a position that could be upgraded. When I look at, you got Harmon, you've got Tyler Booker at guard, maybe a little too rich in terms of this early for what we need, but I'm looking at here. Luther Burden would absolutely be a steal for us to be able to pair, and then suddenly we got a lot of potential on offense as far as what we would have with Genty, with Bowers, with Jacoby Myers, and with Luther Burden. I got to do that. I'm going to take him there and just be absolutely thrilled if that would if that would come to pass as something that would happen for us. Um, right now, I'm going to be looking at adding a corner. We are in big time need of that, and I'm going to see if Uh, it appears as though he's off the board. I'm going to show you who I was looking for. It was Darian Porter. I was hoping he would still be available at this point, but he is gone. So, before I can get into a position of anything else, let's double back and take a look and see. Um, there's some players here that I like. Um, there are options here. I would be curious. Um, see, because what I'm hoping for is that one of these two, Dorian Strong or Quincy Riley, is going to be available at 108. So I'm going to be basically trying to push back to take one of those two a little bit later. So at this point, some of the other needs that we have are on the line. And obviously, um, we could still, I think, anywhere in the back seven can be improved. But just taking a look here, I'm going to take a flyer on Darius Alexander and add to the defensive line and just give ourselves a value pick here um, to basically try to strengthen that line. Might be a player or two short over there. Maybe he can come in and help. I got to be honest, that would be a remarkable first 2 days if we were to have anything close to that on Thursday and Friday next week. Um, that would absolutely be awesome. And this is a guy, if people have heard me talk over the last, Cam Scatabo is a guy that I'm tempted to take him right now, regardless. That's how much I love this dude. And I wouldn't care if we got rid of the entire running back room from last year. It wouldn't bother me in the slightest. Um, but like I said, the truth of the matter is we need a corner, and this is a guy I love. Dorian Strong is a dude that I think can really come in, kind of like Jacorian Bennett did his rookie year, and and I think obviously we have a little bit better coaching. I'm being facetious there. That is an understatement. We got a lot better coaching, but I am a big fan of his game, and I do think that he could sort of fit with the sort of setup that we're going to end up having on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm going to lock that in. I'm going to take him. And now, what I'm going to be really curious about is if we can do something for me as far as we need a linebacker, and then I want to try to improve if I can along the offensive line. So there's a couple of interesting things here. Um, I saw Seth McLaughlin play during their run to the national championship. Uh, there's a couple of guys here that I might take a flyer on a little bit later on. Let me see what we have as far as offensive tackle. Chase Lunt is a guy I think has got decent game, but nothing for me right here that I'm going to devote to 143. Um, looking with what we have here, I think my guy is going to end up being Mr. Barrett Carter. I think I've taken him in another mock. I like his range. There's some things that can be cleaned up, but again, this is a situation where I think with good coaching, he would be the kind of guy that can come in. Even if we just, start him off in special teams to start, it's going to be a situation where I just feel so much better about our coaching staff and the ability to extract and actually play to the strengths of guys that we would actually draft and develop for the first time in a very long time. So I would take him and be happy with that at that place. And I think at this situation right now, um, this would be shaping up to be an absolutely slam dunk, knockdown, incredible draft. Um, and it doesn't seem like anything is out of the realm of realism based on what I've seen here. That's the best part. Let's see. That's not a bad offer at all. Move back 3 spots and then get a compensatory in the sixth. Uh, I think that that's the best of the lot. Even with next year's having, I'm going to take that and I'll move back 3 more spots. And let's see. Who do we have now? Uh, I do think they might be in a situation where the Raiders end up taking um, a second running back, someone that's more of a third down esque, obviously to spell, um, because we can't be depending on Abdullah or even Raheem Mostert to be of any kind of real heavy production. I can't see either of them being in a situation where you're really going to be sitting there thinking that you're going to lean on those guys to be the sort of secondary back. And you know, the way that it ended last year, you want to sort of have as much in that room as possible because it was just not a good look. So at this point, at 143, it might have been a little early. At 183, I think Chase Lunt is a guy to go in, and he is a third or fourth round talent, and you sort of give him a shot to basically compete. And if nothing else, we need more quality along the line because you just can't assume that health is going to be something that's there. And for once, it's like, yeah, let's actually go ahead and really try to fortify that instead of just piecemealing it together like we have before. Um, and now at this point, as I've said before, you start getting into this late in the draft, and you just go on BPA. So um, very interesting. Let me see. Hmm. Some guys here that I actually kind of like. I was mentioning Jack Nelson the last time I did my mock, and you know, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for me, but I'm not going to go against what I was saying. Um, I'm going to go with Drew Kindle from Boston College. Um, really good value, and then another guy on the interior. These are guys you can sort of take a flyer on and then get a chance to potentially um, get better with next year. And so now we still have 3 picks, and you got some guys here. Uh, I like Dante Thornton. He's raw, but I do think that there's something that can be sort of unharnessed there. I'm going to give him a shot, and then let's see. We have 2 picks left, and man, I'm really intrigued. There's a couple of slots here in terms of Raheem Sanders, and let me see if my guy Jabbar Muhammad. Yep, I'm gonna save him for the end. I really like him. I took him last time. I'm gonna try to take him with the final pick at 222, but let me go a different direction, and I will take a run at Sebastian Castro from Iowa, a guy who I think could be a special teams guy right away. And then the last guy, in spite of what is here available, I do believe that there's going to be a surplus of really solid running backs that are going to be available um, undrafted free agency. And I think there might be more than one person that comes out as a UDFA that makes this team. I really believe that. They had a history in Seattle of guys doing that. And so I'm just going to go with my guy again, just because I like him. And I know it's going to sort of knock down my overall, but Jabbar Muhammad is a stud. I think he's a straight dog, and I just think he's the kind of guy, just again, reminds me of Meek. Just need guys like that who will come in and compete, that will talk, that will sit up there and get in your face, and that aren't afraid to basically play. And man, um, if you told me that in this draft they could somehow wind up with Ashton Genty, Luther Burden, Dorian Strong, you tell me you can get those 3 guys who I think would be starters, each of them, to start week 1 for this team. I would be very excited about what we were going to be doing going forward. I'm really interested. Who's a guy that you guys want, like that just you have to have, no matter what it is for this team coming Thursday? Let me know. Hit me up. Tell me what you think. I think that this is a pretty awesome draft. All right, Nation, I'm out. Have a good one. Let's get it done. Just win, baby.